It just goes dead wavy and flat. My barber was saying I should get a perm, you know. But I don't know if it makes it too like ringy. Yeah, because obviously I'm going like mullet, aren't I? So.
Oh, you reckon perm and mullet?
Not like a pure ringlet perm. Apparently, there's a thing called a Korean perm. I don't think that's its actual term, but like...
It's just popular in Korea.
Loads of Koreans have it, yeah. And it just makes your hair like... Oh, bloody hell, it makes your hair wavy. So like... Yeah.
How do they do that? Welcome back to the show, everybody.
That was dreadful. Welcome back to the show, everybody. So it was like...
Oh, yeah.
Oh. It's been a while, so hasn't it? How long?
It's not been that long.
It's been man. I feel
couple
rusty.
Weeks. Couple weeks.
I feel like a piece of metal that has corroded, and now I'm really rusty and like flakes of rust are coming off me. And I need one of them metal, you know, them scour and scrub things to scrub all the rust off.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a good scrubbing today.
Oh, God. I don't know how I feel about that.
No, we're not. We can't start with that, can we?
Oof. We can. We have.
We have.
Yeah. So, welcome back.
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
Thank you. Good to see you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Few weeks away.
It must have been 2 weeks, I think. We've been... when was the last time we came in? What was last episode? 3?
It was like middle of March. Nah, it was just before that.
Oh,
just before I went away to Malta.
It was London chat.
Just before I went away to Malta.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you want to have a little 5-minute catch up beforehand to tell everybody where you've been, how Malta was?
Yeah, can do.
How fast you ran?
Yeah. No, so I just had a little holiday in Malta. Obviously, went like Saturday to Wednesday. Good, nice trip, and ran a 10k in Valletta on Sunday. It was good. I came 6th. It's not the most competitive running scene over there. I got like.
Did you win? Did you come first?
I came 6th.
That wasn't a sin.
I came 6th.
Man,
listen.
Honestly,
what's the point in even catching up?
I was looking at you, but it just wasn't going.
Nothing was going in. Yeah, what's the point in catching up if you're not even gonna listen?
So you
to
came
me,
6th out of everybody. Was out of 6.
Yeah, I mean, bear in mind there was a marathon, a half marathon, a 10k, a 5k.
That joke there, but
huh?
You just completely overlooked that joke there.
Say it again.
I said, was it out of 6, but the moment's gone, mate. So let's just quickly move on.
I would like to say that I just deliberately ignored it because it was a poor joke. Yeah.
Right. The confidence is just rock bottom now.
No, actually, you know what? No, that was a really funny joke.
Confidence is back up again.
Yeah. No, that was really good. Top notch.
Enough. Come on.
Yeah.
Wrap up.
Yeah.
Malta was good. He raced. He ran. He's back now.
That's yeah. Nothing spectacular.
The highlight of my
just
2
had a good
weeks
time.
was a trip to Costco, and people do my fucking head in. Honestly, like, don't walk in front of my shopping trolley, otherwise your legs are gonna get fucking clipped. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or just stop in the middle of an aisle. Whew. Right, rant over. Come on.
Yeah.
We go. Today's episode is going to be really good.
I'm really excited for it.
I feel like this was the one that we spoke the most about in episode 2 that wasn't recorded. So we spoke a lot about the topics we're going to be covering in this episode. And I feel like it's an absolute minefield. Like, there's so much you can chat about and you could go as deep as you want to, really. So, obviously, I feel like I'm a deep person with all that shit anyway.
Yeah.
But it'd be good to hear what your thoughts are, what your thoughts are on it. Like, so do you want to tell everybody what we're going to be chatting about, Samuel?
Yeah. So today, obviously, we sort of end of last episode, we spoke about, are we living in a simulation, and a bit of spirituality as well. So I think we want to do this episode as a big proper episode covering religion, spirituality, consciousness, do we have a soul, what even is a soul, things like that. That's
energy as well, because I'm sure we spoke about like spirits and what happens after you die.
Yes.
And I'm a big believer that I don't think there's a heaven and hell, but like I think that energy stays.
Yeah.
But yeah. We'll chat about it.
Let's kick it off. Let's start let's start where we were last episode. I want to talk about we're in a simulation, or if we
are now.
No, sorry. If we are in a simulation, is that not what religious people just believe? Like, surely if we're in a simulation,
but they don't think that, are they?
There's a creator.
Religious people think that.
If we're in a game, like we've been created, surely there's a maker, and is that not God?
Is that not one? But then not one person makes a game most of the time. It's like a group of people. So is that Jesus and his 12 little mates?
Disciples.
Yeah.
little mates.
Well, one of them apparently on the
but Jesus was a human.
The picture of the feast thing at the end he had, you know, his last like supper and that, and
the last
all
supper.
of them are moping around the table. Apparently, there's a theory that the person to Jesus' left, so like our right, if we're looking at the picture, is actually Mary, who Jesus was having an affair with, but he wasn't allowed to have an affair because he was devoted to God. So this is where a can of worms gets opened.
Sorry, hang on, I'm going to stop you there. Jesus was having an affair with Mary.
And he was cheating on God. Not like he was shagging God, but like...
Well, I hope he's not shagging his own mother as well.
No, not Virgin Mary, you tit. Mary, another person.
What, Queen of Scots?
I don't know her last name. No, it's like Magdalene or something. I'm sure. It's a thing, man. You need to research these things.
That sounds mental.
That was you stuttering there.
Yeah.
Nah, I swear.
We'll put a little zoom on that.
It's a film with Tom Hanks.
Calling me out for stuttering and then immediately stuttering back.
Just happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm certain it's a film with Tom Hanks. It's a Da Vinci Code. Struggle there as well. And I'm certain.
Oh, so it's just a film?
No, it is, but like apparently it's a common conspiracy. That's what I should have probably started with. It's a conspiracy.
Yeah.
It's not a theory.
Isn't that the thing? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Sorry, mate. I felt I've just tangented.
It's fine. It's fine.
But yeah, I understand your
point. What was my point?
About if we're all in a simulation, then the creator is obviously God. But I'm more pro towards simulation. Why is that funny?
Sorry.
What the fuck?
I'm just thinking about the star.
What are you laughing at?
I'm just thinking about the star. Sorry.
You know what? I'm not talking. I want silent.
No, I need to lock in.
Nah, so like, we were gonna say, mate, you've lost me now.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I'm more pro towards simulation if it's been in a simulation, but I don't think it would be related to Christianity or like religion per se. For me, it's more like science-y and like techie. So like,
yeah,
if we're in a simulation, like I'm a big thing of like lost civilizations. So what happens if a lost civilization made us like clone the world? This is far reach. What if a lost civilization cloned the world because they were like dead technologically advanced, and then now we're living in like just this little like, I don't know, like a little like
right. So it was another civilization that have.
I'm probably overcomplicating this.
That have cloned us and created us to be. But then who is the creator of that original civilization?
Just science.
Just
monkeys and Darwin and that. Yeah.
Okay.
But then that just defeats the whole object. That was such a pointless.
Okay, I understand. No, I understand that.
I don't understand myself though. I'm not happy with that.
Okay. Do you want to rethink or?
Nah, so simulation is possible. Because like, I'm sure I've said in the past, like the chances of us being here now doing this are like fucking 0.0 whatever.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah, it's mental.
What makes me so important to have been the fastest little sperm out of me dad? You know what I mean?
But also, someone's got to win.
Yeah, but like, would that other sperm have still been me?
That's a good question.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if another sperm had just pipped him at the final hurdle and won, would I have still been me? Like, or would I have been a girl?
Would you turn out different?
Yeah.
Yeah.
would I be wired different? Do you know what I mean?
You are
Yeah,
different, my
that's
friend.
what I mean. Like it's yeah, like But yeah, I think religion as a whole is a load of dog's bollocks. Like I get that people do have prayer, faith, and like they want hope, and it's like a good structure for them.
Yes.
But
So I think you can split religion into two parties. So it's the belief in God is one part. It's like the people that absolutely believe in God and therefore are following everything. And then the second part is it's the rules, like, and the commandments and the community around it. So I like being a part of this religion. Like their main point isn't even their belief in God. That's sort of just as an assumption in the background.
Yeah.
But their point is, I like the people live by these rules, and I like that we all come to church on a Sunday as a community, and it gives them a lot of purpose, which I fully understand. Like, if you want to do that, it's great.
It is community. Like I feel like a lot of the States, it's community, like community church on a Sunday, and everybody goes and the kids goes. But like, I just think there's too many negatives on like look at all the paedophiles in the church and that. This is just like, I'm not getting sued, so like this is just a theory of all the paedophiles in the Catholic Church. I don't have any proof that it's going on, but I have a slight suspicion it might be. So like, you look at it though, and it's bad, isn't it? Like, because that's happening. That's not a good sign. What's the Pope do other than sit about doing that? Do you know what I mean? Like, what is he doing other than wearing his gown and his little hat? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but these are all different questions to whether God is real. Like, whether God is real or not is not dependent on whether there are some Nazi guys in the church.
No, but like, the fact that they believe God's real brings God a bit down, you know what I mean?
So in your mind, you're looking at their opinion and their beliefs, and you're going, well, I'm not going to trust you.
Not if he's nonsense kids on the sly, mate.
You're
Absolutely
horrible.
not.
Of course, I understand that.
But like, I get the community, and I'm all for that. But if it was something else, like say, I don't know, like say someone died and somebody started setting up like weekly meetups where like everybody can like grieve as a community and shit like that. It's the same thing essentially, isn't it? Like, it's the community aspect that I'm all for.
Yeah.
The bit I'm not all for is the preaching and the, like, how can you believe God's real, right, when you've never ever seen, you've got no proof? It's like me saying, like, oh, I was on like Chelsea under-9s at one point. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no proof, but I've said it, and a few people think it's true, so it's true.
Yeah. But also, you've not got any proof that he's not real.
Oh, mate, common sense.
Expand
I might offend a lot of people.
Expand on that. No, I want to hear.
Just because...
You can't be so sure that God doesn't exist.
Yeah. Science. Like...
So you believe in the Big Bang and everything's evolution?
I believe that everything happens for a reason. There's a reason that we're here. But I don't think it's one person controlling everything. It's stupid out there. Like,
because do you believe in the Big Bang?
I believe that there was something that just happened for everything to exist. I don't think it was like on the Monday God created the world.
No,
you know what
of course these are different things. But I'm saying you're either religion or if you're 100% science, you're 100%.
No.
The universe is expanding. At some point, therefore, it had to be together as one. And the Big Bang had to have happened.
No, because I'm sciencey on the world being created.
Oh, you pick and choose, do you?
I do, yeah. But then
fuck it now.
I'm open to like spirituality and all that shit. But I don't think that boils into like religion, maybe. But then it does, because it's like heaven, hell, all that shit. Like,
the lines are like blurred.
Think there's a heaven and hell, because how many people is he fitting up there? I'm sorry. Do you know what I mean?
but they're not people. They're not in human form.
Yeah, but the way it's explained is
It
God's
does sound like
standing
that.
guard on the gate, and he's like, right, come on in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the gates of heaven. You have this
Yeah.
like image of the staircase up to the gates, and it's like you're a human and you just
Honestly,
join everyone else having a big party up
If
there.
I went to heaven, I couldn't deal with the amount of small talk with like distant relatives who I just couldn't be bothered to talk to.
So you're saying,
Honestly, don't
you're
send
saying
me
I
there.
don't care. Don't even want to go
If
there.
you're real God, don't send me there because I cannot be bothered with it.
Yeah, I like how you've just put that into the world.
Yeah.
Thing is, he already knew you were thinking that because he's all knowing.
So this is my theory, right? So
You got a question of the day, haven't you?
I've thought of a little concept because I like asking questions. So I'm going to do a question of each episode. So I don't know whether to call it like question of the episode, question of the day, Jack's wacky questions. But my question is what is the point in having a prayer? Because if what you believe in is that God is this all-seeing, all-knowing, almighty thing,
All loving.
then why on earth are you praying to him about something that he'll have already known or already created himself? So it's like me saying, oh, I need to record a podcast, and then being like, oh, Sam, we need to record a podcast. It's nothing like that, actually.
What? I didn't get any of that.
Pisses me off because I'm like, you like, yeah, hope for something. Like, oh yeah, I really wish I had that. But what's the point? How far? Like, I don't know.
Oh, so it's the whole ritual. But
It's just
I think there's two parts. The whole ritual to it that you find a bit cringe, I think.
nah. It's not
And-
cringe. I just think you're making yourself look a bit daft. Cause like, yeah, like manifest something or like, you know what I mean? Like think about it, push yourself towards it. But like when you're getting on your knees and that and putting your hands together and stuff, it's just a bit more like
Fucking hell.
if there was a God, he'd know about it and like
He'd already know the problem. Like,
Yeah, 'cause he
if
creates the
if you're
problem.
praying for somebody, a loved one, to get better, if
he knows
if
they're
ill,
obviously ill because he made them ill because he's God and he creates everything apparently.
yeah,
So
exactly. No,
But I do agree.
But what if he wants? What if he knows, but he just wants you to acknowledge him? He's sitting up there and he goes, "I want you to get on your knees and I want you to bow down to me and acknowledge me and put it out there,
Acknowledge me.
as in God."
Yeah, but like, fucking hell. What do you want? Like, loads of subs knocking about, like.
He just wants the attention. Yeah.
Right, it's just.
Why was your jaw quaking there?
It's just. I don't know, man. I get it why people want to do it for, like, the meeting up and having a bit of faith. Like, I get that.
Yeah.
Have a bit of faith because, like, it makes you motivated. You can get friends from church and all that shit. But it's just it's mental. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Can I give you an argument for religion?
Right.
So, our brains are just computers, right? They're just big, complex computers.
Yeah.
But we're not just a computer. We're actual self-aware, conscious beings.
Right.
So we have consciousness. But science still doesn't know what part of the brain consciousness is responsible for. Oh, my camera's gone. Oh, camera's back on.
He's
Right.
back.
Where were we? So, I was talking about how your science still can't explain, like, there's not a part of the brain that's responsible for consciousness. So,
Ever. Like, scientists just haven't worked that out.
that's not something they've been able to come up with yet.
How?
So, it's literally just a computer, your brain. And so, my thing is, the fact that we are conscious, where's that come from? Is that part of our soul? Is that just something we don't understand and therefore can only be explained by God, the existence of God? Like, do you know what I'm saying?
No. I don't get how having a soul means that God's real.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying it could be either or.
So what would the other option be?
Yeah.
If it wasn't God, are you just saying science? Like, for example,
I'm saying we could just be spirituality.
beings.
Like we could just be spiritual beings having we could be something totally different.
That's why
something we can't even comprehend, but we're just having a human experience.
That's why I go along the thoughts of energy, though. Like, I feel like
Yeah.
rather than God created consciousness, for me, it's more like there's energy in a person, there's energy in everything. So, like, that's why I think when you die, energy's still somewhere.
Because, like, energy can't be destroyed.
Yeah,
it can only
like,
be transferred.
And that's why I think when, like, spiritualists and mediums going about, like, obviously, I can see dead people and talk to dead people. I don't necessarily think that that's true. Like, I'm open to it. But, like, for me, they can just... I believe that different people can feel different types of energy.
Really?
Yeah, like, well, you'll know, like, have you ever been in a situation where, like, you can just feel a room? Mate, at work it happens all the time. Like, the energy's just shit sometimes.
Yeah, you can feel the energy of a room.
The energy
you can
of the
walk
room.
in and you can feel. But
and I feel
do you not think that's like loads of little subconscious things? So you're not consciously registering anything, but there's like a way to explain it.
Yeah, but it only takes one person's energy to completely change a room.
Yeah. But my thought is those are physical things, like they're actually happening that your brain's registering. It's not energy.
Yeah, fair play.
Yeah?
Yeah, but then, no one will win this argument.
Yeah. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm just proposing the other side. I'm not saying...
I get that.
Because I'm saying I get your point of you walk into a room and there's energy, and you know things like people have walked into a haunted house and you can go, I felt it. Yeah, I can feel the energy. I can feel it's haunted.
I think the haunted house shit and like you know how like not paranormal activity like most haunted and shit like it's for like clicks essentially, but like for me it's just like. It's like obviously like my nana died like late last year. In her room in my mum's house has been like decorated since all of her clothes and that are out. But when you walk in a room, you can there's still like a smell of her. And to me,
but that's a smell.
Yeah, but like nothing of her stuff is in that room.
Okay.
Like, literally, mate, like, new bed, new curtains, new chairs.
You tried opening the window?
No, the house is clean. Like, it's a proper... But it's just literally you walk in and, like, certain places you stand, you can smell her. Yeah. Not that she stunk, but, like, she has an acquired smell, you know what I mean? Like, you have a smell.
Oh, no, I know people... Yeah, you walk into people's houses and...
That's what I mean.
Like, I know people have different smells.
In that specific room, you can smell her still, but it's weird because, like, it's been cleaned, it's been... But that's why I think there must be some like energy or something somewhere. So
if you're believing in energy doesn't get destroyed, you're quite spiritual. Do you believe in ghosts then? And that
I've never seen one.
Spirits themselves.
I've never seen a one, but I do get like. So I've been to see a spiritualist and I've had my cards read and all that. Yeah. And she says I've got a lot of energy. Like she says like, do you ever see shit out the corner of your eye all the time in your house? Like if you're on your own, and I'm like, yeah. Like where like in my house, like my desk, and I sit like I can look, and like the like landing's here, and then the staircase goes down, and I always look as if someone's walking up my stairs.
Wow.
But like I don't want to admit that and say like, oh yeah, like it's a ghost, because it probably isn't. But like I'm open to it.
Yeah.
But then I worked with a guy who said ghosts obviously aren't real because the amount of people who've died in the past, you'd always be standing on top of a ghost. Do you know what I mean?
They would just be everywhere, absolutely fill the room, yeah.
And that's complete sense, like. Yeah. That's why I think it's tough, and that's why I think the religion, spirituality, science argument is sort of like, you know, them like charts where like the three circles and they all overlap.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like it is. But like for me, religion's completely just. I'm more science, spirituality. I don't think religion is.
Okay, so you don't think it's God?
I think religion was created.
You don't think it's God? You think it's just spiritual?
Yeah, but I get why.
If that makes sense.
I get why, like, religion is a concept. I get that it's good to follow. Like, I can imagine the stories in the Bible or like or the Quran or whatever, like Jewish people. And that
Great stories.
I can imagine the meaning behind them is right, but then you ask people like, they'll say, like, you think God's real, and then it's like, right, which God? Zeus. You think Zeus is real? You know what I mean? Like fucking.
Well, like Hinduism has like loads
the
of gods.
elephant one,
like multiple.
Yeah, what's
Ganesh.
the elephant god eye?
Is it Ganesh? I think.
Ganesh,
I
the
think
elephant
so.
man. Yeah, I thought elephant like. Is he called the elephant man? Ganesh.
I don't think so.
Because he's got a trunk and that, hasn't he?
No, I think he is an elephant, but he's not. I don't think he's called the Elephant Man.
So who's the elephant man?
Something you made up? I don't know.
No, it's not. It's definitely a person.
Oh, fair enough.
Oh, I'll have to look at that.
Yeah, so my thing is, if ghosts are, to bring it back to ghosts, if they are real, like, how do we experience them? Like, if they are real, could we see them? Could we? How would they interact with the world?
So this is where I'm going to go off on a tangent again, probably. So like, DMT, like
straight in.
No, so like, apparently, what a lot of researchers and stuff say is that, so like naturally we produce DMT. Is it like dimethyltryptamine? Is that what it's called?
Tryptamine, I think. Yeah.
So like, we naturally produce that, but we have a chemical inside us that like suppresses us feeling it. So like, it's not essentially active, although it's in us. There's something we have inside us that like
restricts.
Stops the effect. Yeah. But then if you take it like externally, that gland or whatever it is inside us isn't receptive to the external DMT.
Okay.
So what researchers essentially are saying is that it's a trip and it's a drug, but like they're saying that drugs break the wall of like what is reality and what isn't.
Okay.
So like, for example, we're sitting in a room now, yeah, I could smoke some DMT and then what I can see normally. So imagine we're seeing a 2D shape on a piece of paper, smoke some DMT and you can now see it in 3D.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like it opens your eyes.
For all we know, there could be
to something.
An alien standing in that corner, but we could only see it if we, like...
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. Like,
it's
I'm
like
not
we
really
only
scientific.
see like we see visible light. We can't see everything. We can't see Wi-Fi. We can't see Bluetooth.
It opens your senses to see it. That's what people say.
But ultimately, there's different frequencies.
Yeah.
We just can't see.
That's what I think.
So it leaves it sort of open to the fact that there could be other things we can't see.
Yeah.
That are out there. So is that your point with ghosts?
Potentially, yeah.
Right.
But then I think, like, I don't think everybody who's died is a ghost. That's why I think it's energy.
Yeah.
Like, if you had a lot of energy as a person, you're probably knocking about somewhere, you know what I mean? Like, I can't imagine, like, an old lady who was, like, death's door is knocking about still. But, like...
What's a ghost die as well, or...
No,
they just,
I don't... No.
Some people don't become ghosts?
I don't know.
Just trying to figure out the thinking of how you got...
I don't think I know. I'm thinking... I think it's just more like... If you're, like, happy... No, I don't know, mate.
Should we move on to the next topic then?
Yeah,
I'm just thinking what we've gone through. Yeah.
I think ghosts are a big, like... energy, yeah. I feel like souls as well. So, like, to me... when someone says, "Oh, he's got a soul," to me that's energy.
Yeah.
So like your soul lives on. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So then energy must live on as well.
In what? So how does that look? What format is the soul?
Just
What even is a soul?
Imagine putting talc in a hairdryer and turning it on and all that white dust. That's what I can imagine a soul and energy to look like. Just floating about. Do you know what I mean?
Okay. I just split about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just knocking about, mooching about. Like imagine like a balloon, but it's see-through and you can't see it, it's invisible. But it's just floating about.
Okay, it's just
like a piece of mass.
But like it's just everywhere, or it's
depends. Though.
It's on Earth.
It's on Earth, yeah.
Okay.
I think it knocks about places it like. So like if I died,
so your soul doesn't go elsewhere.
If I died, I think my soul would knock about like. Certainly not at work. It'd knock about at like knock about Hartlepool, like do its daily routine. So on Saturdays it'd be in Asda shopping.
That's great.
I think I'd
just back doing the same stuff you were doing.
If ghosts were real, I'd haunt Neve. I'd absolutely haunt her.
That's really
just for the fun.
That's pretty mean.
For the shits and giggles, mate.
Yeah.
Oh, bless her. I would.
That is.
Wouldn't you haunt anybody if you came back as a ghost?
Well, it's not very nice, I don't think.
Oh, get out, mate.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd haunt some people that deserve it.
Haunt?
I'd haunt some people that deserve it that maybe I didn't like, but not some people I liked.
Oh, yeah, but it's
ruin their
funny.
day.
No, like I'd go boo. And she'd shit herself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think. What do you think energy is like a thing?
This is where I don't know. Like, obviously, I'm a bit biased because I want to believe in it. Like,
what ghosts and that?
Not ghosts, but that we have a soul and like it lives on afterwards.
My camera's gone.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't know.
That's fine. I thought I just wouldn't tell you.
Hell.
Just to keep it flowing.
Yeah, we'll go.
Yeah, because I would like to believe that, after death,
there's something.
Like there's something happens. Because that was what we was going to talk about next, isn't? Is there an afterlife? Because I think if there's even the chance of an afterlife, surely we should all be religious because we're like, well, we want to go there. I'll tell you that. But then
it's just a bit much, though, isn't it?
If you're going to be religious for selfish reasons, just because you're like, well, I want to go in the afterlife, so I'm going to be religious. Yeah. Like, if God exists, surely he knows you're just doing it for the crack and you're not doing it because you actually believe in him.
God knows everything.
So then he's going to be like, well, you can't come in.
That's what I mean. It's just a bit of like...
Surely
you're just restricting your life, like...
Yeah.
Oh.
So given that, surely you should only be religious if you only truly believe in God. But then it goes back to how can you truly 100% know? You can't 100%.
So
we're all just blagging it. Like there's no certainty.
Yeah, but then
I don't know if I want a definitive answer.
Do we not work on the theory of we only believe what is practical, factual stuff? So everything else in life,
well, science,
everything else in life, you're taught, right? Science is biology, physics, chemistry.
This is the way it is.
This is the way it is. 1 + 1 is 2. So why in RE are we like, yeah, God's real, but nobody knows? You know what I mean? Like, if you put that to like, you could say President Kennedy was assassinated. Nobody knows. That's why it's a conspiracy.
Yeah.
So surely God is a conspiracy. Oof, clip that.
Yeah.
God is a conspiracy.
God is a conspiracy. But conspiracy is the wrong word.
No.
Because it assumes that it's... But who would want... Who would be like, all right, we're going to get all these people to believe in God. And then, like, why would that benefit? Who would do that and why would it benefit them?
But look at Scientology, mate. Like, they've made fucking fortunes of saying, like, all of that shit's real. A load of bollocks.
What is Scientology?
It's like, essentially it's a cult.
Not Tom Hanks, Tom Cruise.
Yeah, it's a cult. So, like,
yeah,
people paying. And have you ever played Grand Theft Auto 5?
No, but I'm aware of the game.
So, like, essentially, on that, they have something called epsilon, I think. And the people who like follow that cult just pay in. So it's like a pyramid scheme, essentially. But it's a religion. So, like, Tom Hanks is one of the top people, but apparently he only got far because he's paid into it and he's wealthy enough to.
I've heard some bad stories about people that have tried to leave.
Mate.
And they've been threatened.
It's proper.
Their entire family. Like,
I think Leah Remey or whatever she's called.
Somebody's written a book about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was listening to a podcast earlier from, Have a Word. Have you heard of Have a Word?
No.
The Scousers.
No.
Like Adam Rowan with the other lad. So they have,
Adam Rowe. Is he an author or a comedian?
Comedian, yeah.
Yeah, comedian.
Scouse comedian.
Yeah.
So they publish another podcast called Have a Word. And Harry and Carl, and they like interview like weird people. So it's called Mad That because like, that's Mad That, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, they had Tiger King on, Joe Exotic.
Yeah.
And they had a lad from the UK who was an ex-Scientologist. And he was saying about how he was like recruited at like 15 and shit. And honestly, mate, it's just mad. That's why we'll probably do another episode on cults and that, so we can probably pick up that. But
yeah, it could probably part
it's
of that.
just like, did Jesus really turn fucking water into wine? I don't think he did. You know what I mean? Is it a metaphor? Maybe, but
yeah, but it's a story that's told.
Like Noah's Ark, mate. Like so this is where I feel like I'm borderline. So like Noah's Ark, I think is referencing a cataclysmic event that happened like 11,000 years ago. And I do think that there was a flood.
Yeah.
Because if you look at like old Greek readings and shit, a lot of their like Plato and that like spoke about like 1,000-year flood.
Yeah.
And it wiped everything out.
Yeah.
And I think this is where the lost civilization shit is missed.
Yeah.
That's where I feel like it was lost in the flood. Like, I do think Noah's Ark was real. Not
But,
the
but
Ark,
but
like,
what's unbelievable about Noah's Ark? Like
are you taking the piss?
He took some animals on an
Two
ark.
of every animal in the world fitted on an ark. Fuck off, mate.
It wasn't every animal on Earth,
It was
it?
two of every animal.
Two-
A man and a lady animal, so that they could mate and then repopulate all of the animals.
Okay.
Are you serious? You didn't know that?
What? Well, how many animals do you think were on that ark then?
Every animal in the world, apparently. Otherwise, how is a spider here now?
Evolution.
You know what I mean?
Evolution, mate.
From what? A scorpion?
No, but it wasn't a flood around the entire world, was it? It was just a big flood in an area.
The full world flooded,
Really?
apparently.
I didn't know that.
Fucking hell.
Right.
Did you learn that in school? Like, Ari, in your school must have been shite.
Oh, this is what you learn in school.
Yes, or like
Jesus.
Like, I do think that, like, I want to speak about, like, lost civilizations and stuff in the future, but, like, I do think that that's why academia don't want to tell you.
Why?
So, like, academia don't tell you shit because I feel like it's too much work for them to change. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's very set in the ways. I understand that, yeah.
So, like, I listen to, like, a lot of Joe Rogan and, like, a lot of, like, his shit. And he's had, like, journalists on there, like Graham Hancock, Randall Carlson. Like, they speak about, like, how they think the world is older than what it is.
Yeah.
So, like, they think 11,700 years ago, there was an event that happened that killed all life on Earth. And we were essentially started fresh then.
Yes.
So that's what I think Noah's Ark refers to. Because I'm certain, like, he said they'd found stones in, like, Australia, like, boulders, that were, the rock is only found in, like, Eastern Europe. And he's like, how the fuck is a big boulder got there? From there, the only thing it'd be water.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't.
So there must have been a big flood which has taken that stone.
But that's what I find.
So Noah's Ark's real.
Nah, I think the story is because if you look at like the Quran and that, mate, like I'm certain they have their own version of it, and that's why I think. Does that just mean that like surely all religion is a load of tripe? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
like the stories and the metaphors and the teachings, fair game, but like the thought that God is an actual thing out there, like the amount of people who sin every day. Do you know what I mean?
against God's will, perhaps, maybe.
Or unless he creates everything, so he makes them do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Fucking
then
hell.
that's the opens the question about free will,
Yeah, like
and is, even if God exists, or if God makes us, but He just gives us free will and gives us the capacity to do what we want. Like, because we have free will doesn't mean God doesn't exist.
but then it's the whole thing about like putting the poison apple in the Garden of Eden in it. I don't think it was poison apple. That was Snow White, wasn't it?
What was it? It was some fruit.
It was he put the apple of
Some
Eden.
fruit.
One, yeah, it was
Yeah.
the apple, but he put that in the snake said, "Eat the apple, eat the apple,"
Yeah, the devil.
and he ate the apple.
Yeah, but on your point on, like, the education system, I do think is quite, stuck in the ways.
They
of-
only teach you what they want you.
or it's
to
just like,
learn.
well, here's the curriculum, and it's just, well, we'll just teach what we've taught every year.
Yeah.
It's just quite rigid in the way, and I think in sort of the same way, it's kind of why religion is the way it is.
Yeah,
So it's like,
yeah.
well, why do people currently believe in God? Probably because their parents believed it. Probably because their parents believed it and went to church. And it's just basically, it's come from what a few thousand years ago,
Yeah.
or whatever.
It's the same as
people have-
voting, knowing it.
People back then have believed in God, and then it's just this idea is formed, and it's just carried on, and.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say no one's questioning it. Obviously, a lot of people are questioning it. You're questioning it.
But-
There are a lot of people that are not religious.
But it'll never ever stop. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I think it's the same as voting.
could
where like
it could stop though.
everybody
I-
votes Labour if the family's voted Labour. You know what I mean?
But
In this
I-
town, especially.
I think the amount of religious people, especially in this generation, I think in total the whole globe will have decreased.
Do you reckon?
Yeah. So I wouldn't like.
But I was watching.
I wouldn't say it would. There's
was-
no chance of religion as a whole dying out.
I was watching maths.
Just been a long time.
Do you reckon?
It would just be
Do you not think it'll
if it
change?
just goes down slowly over time.
Do you not think it'll change though? Like I can't see Hinduism stopping because, like, it's like a bit more like stricter, isn't it, than Christianity?
In what sense?
Like the fast and that, don't they?
You mean Islam when they do Ramadan, so they fast?
Oh right, yeah. Islam. Then.
Islam, yeah. Islam's a bit stricter in the terms of like
That's what I mean.
they don't drink alcohol.
But
so that's,
some
I
of
get
them
that.
do.
Guess that's a bit strict.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean that's not for me to comment on whether they're
No, it's what
Muslims
I'm
if they
saying,
do
like,
drink alcohol.
Obviously, that's what I mean. Like, obviously, religion won't die out for them cultures because they're still committing some of their faith somewhere. Like, they might not like drink or smoke, but they might like shag a lass on a weekend. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
So like, they're
No.
still practicing somehow,
Yeah.
but just doing it their own way,
Yeah.
and that's where I think it'll go.
Yes.
Everybody will just do their own thing. Like, if you want to pray in the house on a night, pray in the house on a night. It's pointless because God's not real.
Right.
But
Rather than go into a mosque or something like that.
nah, like if you want to go to the mosque, like you said, it is the community aspect. Smash it.
Yeah. No, to be honest, I'm not saying I think religion's going to die out in the next few generations. Like I think it will just, if it was, it would be a long time.
Yeah.
Like it's very instilled in the culture. Think
We'll
about
all die anyway, mate, and robots will take over. So look at AI now, mate.
Do you reckon? Do you actually think? Do you think in like 1,000 years' time, or even maybe even further into time, do you think?
Not even 1,000, mate.
Well, you reckon the human race won't make it to
Well,
1,000?
if you look at how Tesla and all that shit's going on now, like, did you see the fucking robot he had?
The Tesla robot.
Mate,
Yeah.
Like, if he's got that down to a T now,
it's not even that. It's the rate of this.
that's what I mean.
The rate of the technology improvement is going to be exponential.
1990, yeah. Hardly anybody had a mobile phone. 30 years.
Yeah. Computers
and
are like massive boxes.
So imagine another 30 years with AI.
Yeah.
Like, jobs will stop, mate, and I reckon it'll be war soon. Like,
I'm interested in how that looks.
it'll end up like Planet the fucking Apes, mate.
You reckon?
Not that serious, but I feel like population will proper plummet.
Why? Because
I just think because
war's going to pop up or AI is going to kill humans.
I don't think AI will kill humans. I think it's more so there won't be a use for people anymore. Like, all of the jobs will be automated or...
So you think people can... Do you think in future there'll be like AI robots that can build buildings?
Yeah, absolutely.
And things like that. Yeah.
It's just
because it's the physical
yeah.
manual.
But even the theory stuff, like accounting and that, mate, like you don't need a human to...
Law and accountancy.
If you can, like, code up a robot to, like, do all that shit.
Yeah. It's
like,
scary, isn't
you
it?
don't need a conscience either, because a robot will just work on facts. Like, do you know what I mean?
You can eliminate the bias, and the robots just go off facts, and they'll be 24/7.
That's what I mean, man.
They won't be complaining about needing a pay rise.
Like, I'm saying there's Tesco's in London, where there's no staff in them. You just walk in, select what you want, and walk out.
Pay at the self-checkout.
No.
Oh, there's
like
the Amazon.
Or something.
There's the Amazon Fresh, where you literally walk in and walk out. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's already a thing.
That's what I mean. So if that's a thing now in supermarkets, imagine when, like, it proper takes off.
Yeah.
Like,
because
scary.
that's a basic job, but it would be naive of me to say, this obviously is going to get worse.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
I like to be optimistic and think about all the things that it can elevate us to.
See, I'm a realist. And a pessimist.
A pessimist.
Yeah. I just think, like, I think it probably comes down to the, like, mental shit as well. Like, I just like to have a plan. Like, I always think worst case scenario. So, like, I'll be negative about something that's really good because I'm like, right, well, what if this happens though?
Yeah.
Like, if the world ended and robots did take over, where's the, like, first place are you going? Where would you go?
What if the world ended?
I think I'd go on top.
Probably Mars.
I'd go on top of that. No, like, if you were, like...
What do you mean by world ended?
On the run, like, imagine it's like The Walking Dead, but, like, it's AI.
Right.
I'd go on top of Asda. Because I feel like you've got a constant food supply.
Okay.
You can go down into Asda if it rains.
Right.
You've got all of the barbed wire on the roof and that.
This Asda's in a built-up area, surely.
It's just around the corner.
Yeah, so would there not be loads of robots about?
Well,
they'd have already...
Yeah, but I'd be staying on Asda roof, so they wouldn't see me, would they?
You think the robots are going to be able to do all of our jobs, but they won't be able to see you on a roof?
I'd wear camo pants and a top, mate.
I'll go to an island, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but how are you getting to an island if
Not any dodgy island, like...
If you're at work and it happens, how are you getting to an island?
Flight.
You don't have a plane?
I'll get a flight.
Get a fuck, mate. You're not taking this seriously.
If the world's ending, I'll steal a private jet.
But you can't fly it.
Yeah, I can.
You don't have a pilot license?
I'll learn. I'll use AI to learn how to fly the plane.
But AI is the enemy?
No, but... yeah, but it's helping me fly this plane. If you can chat GPT, like... But you have, like, a live and it's talking you through... I think it's going to be more advanced.
What happens?
It's talking you through how to fly a plane. I reckon I can fly a plane. I just tell it,
What happens if ChatGPT is like keeping everything we tell it in building like I think it's mad how you can impersonate this like famous person's voice through like
deepfake.
Mate,
no, deepfake is a whole different conversation. That's pretty scary.
It's scary
because if you see a video of Trump and like announcing World War III. and you're like, that literally looks 100% real. That's scary. Because they've banned it, but how can you ban that?
You can send a picture and say like, "Oh, automate this picture to smile," and it makes them smile as if they're like, "Mate, it's just scary."
Yeah.
I feel like I need to start stacking up tins and that in the bottom of my garden.
Yeah.
Build a bunker.
Do you reckon you give the digging a go?
It's just
build something
like
underground. I'd like that.
What? Like
having like a bunker underground, and you just know you're ready. It just goes back to what you were saying before about preparing for worst case scenario.
Yeah, but I think that's like, I'm saying, I've watched shows on it, like extreme bunkers in America and that, like they have like proper fucking penthouses underground.
Really?
Yeah, mate.
Is there a show on that? Yeah.
Yeah, they do like.
I could watch that.
Got like shelves full of like different tinned fruit, like all that shite, and I'm like, mate, they've spent like millions on like a bunker in the garden, and I'm like, but what happens if you moved house? You know what I mean? Then is the bunker included? Is it still yours? Like, and then I'm certain one time
you're not going to sell the house if the world's ending.
Well, I'm certain one time.
No demand.
AI might buy it.
Yeah.
Robots.
Yeah.
Do robots need a house?
No.
Do robots sleep?
Well, if they don't need food, if they don't need sleep, if they don't need to wash themselves, probably don't need anywhere, to be honest.
To be fair.
Probably don't need.
If you were a robot.
And that's the property market in the mud.
If you were a robot, would you still wash yourself? I think I would, just to be clean.
You mean even if functionally, it's not, me being a bit dirty is not affecting me, would I still want to clean? Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of me at the minute anyway. Not that I'm a robot, but...
Just muggy.
But, I just want to be clean. Of course.
I was going to say something there as well about... It's gone. I think it was like... Something about like bunkers and... Let me just flow. Keep talking while I just flow. Bunkers.
Was it before robots cleaning themselves?
Yeah, it was. It was a wacky question I had. It's gone, guys. It's gone.
Oh.
But
hey, when that happens.
I think it'll happen. I think robots are the biggest. Oh yes, that was it. If robots if this situation occurred, China would be fucked.
Why?
Because there's fucking loads of robots in China, isn't there? Have you not seen all of the how far forward in tech China and that are?
Oh, so you're assuming the places with most robots, the robots basically just become self-aware, and they start attacking.
There's fucking loads of Chinese in China, in there.
Basically, China gets attacked first because they got all the robots there.
Loads. Yeah. And loads of people.
But I mean, it wouldn't really matter in the end because the robots would just fly over and kill everyone if they wanted to.
Who said the robots can fly?
But
what little scenario have you created?
You're assuming the robots are going to take everyone's jobs and be self-aware to take us over and control. But what, you think they can't figure out how to fly? Something we figured out 100 years ago.
Yeah, to fly. What? You mean to fly a plane over?
No, could be anything.
I'm thinking Iron Man, thrusters in the feet in there.
I'm sure they could work that out if they could work out how to take the world on.
They can't do that because
they can't do that.
They can only do what we do.
Right. Why?
Because I said
Why?
so.
But we're limited by the fact that we're humans.
This is my fantasy, Sam, and I decide what happens.
Your fantasy?
Well, it's my story.
Well, I think it's naive of you to suggest that China would be screwed just because they have all the robots.
Do you think in the future people...
No, but the robots will create more robots if they were that.
How? Can they?
If they were that advanced. If you're saying they can build buildings and be accountants and lawyers and everything, surely they can build a robot.
But they follow a task set by us. They don't have their own brain to think.
That's exactly what I think, which is why I think they won't take us over.
But they will.
Why?
Take us over in the sense of not be any jobs and create poverty, and then the world just ends up a mess. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying they'll actually come alive and start fucking murdering people.
Oh, okay.
That was just a theoretical thing I ran with.
Oh, that was a theoretical world ending.
Yeah.
bunkers.
I'm not saying like they'll start eating us like zombies do. Like it'll be a
Okay,
case of
I thought you were really going.
people won't be needed anymore,
Mm.
and then it'll cause poverty, homelessness, and then unrest, and then with that they'll become crime, and
Okay.
that's how the world will go.
Okay. Understood. So given that that's your outlook.
It'll end up like a war zone, and you'll have like loads of like terrorist groups and shit like that kicking about, like because they're not happy with how shit's ran. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I think will happen.
So if you think that will happen, does that affect your decision to want to have kids?
No.
So you want to have kids knowing that there's a chance this could happen and it could affect them.
But if you live life like that, you won't do fuck all, will you?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I could think, hey, I'm staying in the house like forever and ever now in case I get knocked over by a bus. Like fucking hell.
Yeah.
Like you're born, you live, you die.
You're gonna die anyway.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I might die tonight, mate, choking on my tea. You never know.
Mm. But some that would put some people off.
But then, what's the point in living anyway?
Like I've spoken to some people that even just like, well, like because wars exist, I don't want to bring a child into this world.
Oh, get fucked.
Yeah.
But you
can't let it stop you.
You're born in England, not in Iraq, where there's a war going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Get a life. I don't want to have a child. I'm English and I live in the UK and I don't want a child because there's wars happening in Africa. But right? It's got no effect on you whatsoever.
Yeah.
The Africans obviously aren't asked to fucking have loads of kids still, aren't they?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not stopping them. Why should it stop you?
Exactly. Like, people are just too asked about everybody else.
Yeah.
Just focus on you. Do what you want to do, as long as it's not affecting anybody or like.
Be aware of the situation.
Yeah, like.
But if you want to do something,
like I'm a big.
Just be happy with
charity starts at home. Do you know what I mean?
I know that. Yeah.
Just because, like, I'm not against like UNICEF raising loads and keeping half of it and only sending half to fucking Africa, but it's just like. Let's fix England first. Britain.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Britain.
Then, because it's the same as you can't give unless you have it. You know what I mean? Like, why think of it personally? Would you give someone? You can't give someone a car unless you have a car. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so why should I give when I'm not really content at where I am yet?
Yeah, I'm not saying you have to. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think get your own ship in order.
But I think it's expected sometimes, like, and you're seen to be bad if you say no, like, sorry, I'm not donating. Like, people think, oh, he's against cancer research.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm not, but like.
But you do understand that if they're asking for £5 and that £5 doesn't really mean much to you, even if you're not a millionaire,
but it does.
that you can give £5.
Every penny counts, mate.
Yeah.
Save the pennies and the pennies lead to the pounds.
So
but
true.
as well, how do I know that all of that £5 is going directly to that? Because some CEO somewhere, mate, will be licking his fucking lips for that £5.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That is a worry.
Pudsey Bear Day, mate, and comic fucking relief are the same. Like, they donate all this. Half the fucking BBC top dogs will be keeping all that shite.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, mate, absolutely. Spending it on fucking bands, probably, mate, the BBC. They all fucking paedophiles. Aye, it's a rough one, man. It's
not good.
It annoys me, yeah. But I don't know. It's one of them, innit? Like,
not a fan of that.
It won't ever change. Like, but we're stuck with that now. Like, that'll always be a thing.
What? People from charities.
Yeah, like,
charities taking what you believe to be too much percentage.
Tell you what, right? This is going to sound mad. The one charity that I would donate to is an animal charity just because animals have done nothing to nobody. You know what I mean? Like, animals just, like, they are nasty. You know what I mean?
But what about kids with malaria that have done nothing?
So
It's not
you
their
might have
fault.
to cut some of this. So, like,
It's not their fault, is it?
yeah, but it's the parents' fault for having them.
Yeah, but
If I was a
but they didn't know they were going to get malaria.
Yeah, but stop having sex. Like, why have loads of kids and then expect Westerners to pay them charity to provide for them kids? Just stop having kids and then we don't have to send. You know what I mean?
But do you not think if it cost like 30 quid to save someone's life, that's worth it?
No, because the kid shouldn't have been born in the first place.
Fair.
Like, I get, like, fair play, save the kid, but if you're a family in Africa and you're struggling like fuck, the same over here though. Like, if you're like a family living in like a 2-bed council house and you have 4 kids, why are you wanting a fifth?
Yeah.
Like, it's just silly.
Yeah.
Like, it's not practical and it's not bringing up the kid in the best environment.
Yeah, I guess that's two different things.
So
one is
why
like
would you
being
do
able
that?
to afford a kid.
Yeah, but
And the other is bringing up a kid in an environment where you can afford it, but there's a risk of, malaria, things like that.
yeah, but they can't afford it though. They're living in shacks and that, aren't they?
I guess a lot of money goes towards like malaria nets, I guess, which obviously you're saying they can't afford.
What do you mean, a net?
Sorry.
To stick on the front door?
Like a mosquito net to sleep in so that the mosquitoes can't come in.
But once they're awake, the mosquitoes will start like fucking eating them again, won't they?
Yeah, but I guess when you're awake, you can be conscious of many
What,
mosquitoes
whack
and
them
just,
off, yeah?
and just back them, fucking kung fu it. Yeah.
I get it, but it's just...
So you would give to an animal charity, but how do you know the CEO of the animal charity isn't taking 40% of that?
I wouldn't give
Just like
to the
all the
animal
others.
I'd
You give it straight to the animal. Here you go, little red panda.
I'd
Yeah,
buy...
have a fiver.
Yeah, like, no, like...
Get yourself a pint.
I'd like buy him some bamboo or
Yeah. So your thing is direct to the source,
direct to the source, yeah.
and you're an animal. Hey, look,
Just because
spend your money how you want.
people are nice, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think people deserve charity.
Fucking hell. I think there's a lot of good people out there.
No, I get that. Some of this is getting cut, by the way.
It's fine. Do what we have to do in the edit.
Just because I just think animals are just so innocent. Like, they've not done anything to anybody.
Yeah.
And
They're not as conscious as...
that's what I mean. But, like, people choose to be assholes. That's why. Yeah.
Fair.
But yeah, I think we'll wrap up, eh?
Yeah,
That was a bit of a deep one. We apologise for the camera issues. Mine's been gone for like 20 minutes, I think.
Yeah, but...
Sam's was gone for 3 seconds because we edited it.
Yeah, the magic of editing.
But next episode, we'll probably sort that and see if we can get something put in place because,
Yeah.
it's not exactly ideal.
No, we'll sort the battery situation
Yeah.
because mine ran out. We basically had a pause in the middle and then we've swapped them. So...
But yeah, at least we have our iPhone footage.
Yeah.
And if
so
we don't, then
hopefully that
it's just audio
suffices.
only,
But I think most people are probably on audio or just
think a
listening in
lot
the
of people,
background.
yeah.
And it's been an interesting conversation. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've enjoyed it.
I feel like we still... I felt flustered because of the break.
Yeah.
I feel like we could have got deeper on the religion bit.
Yeah.
So we could probably do that in 20 episodes time or something.
Yeah. Let's watch it back. Let's see how we...
Yeah.
If we're happy, if we feel like there's any more to cover on.
But I'm fucking starving now, lads.
Yeah.
So
Should we go for a
cheeky little
Spice
kebab,
up.
spice or time.
cheeky little spice up?
Sick, but thank you for listening. Sam's going to close up because I don't like it.
Yeah.
So
No, Jack's going to close up on this one.
I'm not.
No, I'm
Absolutely
joking.
Not.
No, thank you for listening.
Thank you, bye.
Nah, thanks for listening. as always, see you in the next one.
Goodbye.